Chad. Good to have you back on here for the fourth time. At the Soda Bar in San Diego.
That was a good one.
Yeah, and David Landsman's band, Fun Country, opened up, and that was tremendous.
It was. Yeah.
I had him on earlier this year. That was the last member of the soft pack that I needed to get on, so I've had all four of the guys.
Oh, cool. You got all the guys. Even Matt Lampkin, huh?
Even Matt Lampkin.
Mysterious guy. I mean, that's something if you got special. That's special.
Everybody coming on was special. Matt, Matty, Brian, and David. Yeah, and at that show, I was kind of in the back of the soda bar, just absorbing it, and I turn around and I noticed this guy that's at the sound booth talking to the sound man, and he's picking up a guitar, and oh man, that guy's really familiar, and I couldn't put my finger on it for a minute, and then it ended up being the guy from Steel Beans.
Yeah.
Super nice guy, and I was chatting with him, and yeah, that was really cool to see him.
That was cool. Yeah, to meet. I didn't recognize him. I've never seen that guy, and I didn't know who he was. And he was like buying a guitar, that one you were talking about, which was. I just saw him after the show, and like, oh, that's cool. You got a guitar. I don't know what he was doing there, but yeah, he was buying it from one of the guys that runs Soda Bar, and it was a cool guitar. And yeah, he bought a record, and then he told me who he was, and that was fun. That was fun to meet that guy.
For the people at home that don't know, he plays the guitar, he sings, and he drums at the same time.
I know, it's crazy.
Wild.
A buddy of mine told me about him a while back, and I was like, whoa, I was blown away. It'd be cool to play with him sometime. Hopefully we will. You know, it'd be rad.
Yeah, hopefully you guys cross paths. That'd be really cool.
I think he's kind of blowing up. He's getting kind of up there.
Yeah, he was I think he opened up for Creed. Have you ever attempted to play guitar and drum at the same time?
Oh, nothing more than just tapping my foot. Yeah, it doesn't really count. No. I have a hard enough time just singing and playing, you know? That's hard enough as it is.
It was cool to see all those good people at that show. It was this sold out too, which is always nice to see people really digging the live performance, you know?
Yeah, it's so fun. It never gets old.
Yeah. Have you attended any concerts recently that you're like, wow, that was a good one?
Shoot. God, what's the last show I went to? Well, I went to Phil's show just the other night, Autofix. That was fun.
That's Phil Shaheen's side project. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Tijuana Panthers is Phil is integral part, obviously. I mean, we're all integral parts, the three of us.
Absolutely.
But in case anybody was wondering about that. But Phil, Autofix is like the true manifestation, the true expression of Phil, the Philism.
Right.
If you want to see like who Phil truly is, like what emanates from like his soul, Autofix is the sound and the look, the vibe, and then Tijuana Panthers. You know, you mix that with my vibe, and then you get Tijuana Panthers
and Dan's
and Dan's
as well.
vibe. Yeah, of course, and Dan. Sorry, I did not mean to forget Dan.
No.
Yeah. That's so. If you want to see who Phil, you want the mystery to be anyone who hasn't checked out Autofix, check it out.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
You know, it was a bummer. The day after the show, the guy who owns the bar, 4th and Vine, Dustin Lovelace, good guy, great musician, singer. We used to play with his band, him and his brother, The Fling. That was back in early 2000s. Really, really good band. That kind of really good vocal harmonies and songwriting, like kind of Beatles-esque, you know, like pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I found out that his his brother Graham is in the hospital with a brain tumor, and that was very not cool to hear about. And I don't know, that was just in my head as we're talking about the bar. But if you're a praying person, a pious person, that guy could use some prayers. Really, really awesome guy. Great, talented guy. Anyway, just wanted to.
No, absolutely.
Graham's on my heart right now. So
yeah, keep him in your prayers, or send some good thoughts, whatever it may be, to Graham at this time.
yeah. Anybody listening who knows, there's a GoFundMe just to help deal with that. And yeah.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, and we do wish the best to Graham and his family at this time.
Man.
Yeah. That space. It seems like it's always hosting good people and good music at that spot. Good space.
It is, and the sound is pretty good there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool. It doesn't. You'd think it would be really abrasive, but it's not.
Yeah.
And you can actually hear everything decently well. It's not what you would think. Actually, the DJ set when I walked in the show the other night, I was like, oh man, this is abrasive. Like I almost want to cover my ears. The highs are just getting to my ears right now. But then when they played, I didn't have that. So, no offense to the DJ. I don't know who was DJing that night. Sometimes DJs just push it a little too much, in my opinion.
Right.
It's like, come on, guys. Come
on. Have you ever played with the idea of DJing?
Oh, yeah. I've DJ'd. Yeah, it's fun.
So if you were DJing that night, it wouldn't be abrasive at all. You'd have it under control.
Yeah, I prefer to err on the side of less volume.
Right. What do you usually spin in? Like if you're called out to do a set, what do you usually bring with you?
I don't know, just grooving stuff that I actually don't have that extensive of a record collection. I mean, I got a decent collection, but yeah, I don't know, all over the map, like whatever.
Whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, whatever I'm feeling, man.
Yeah.
I'll feel out the crowd. I'll look around.
Get the vibe of what's going on.
Yeah.
Is it easy for you to read? Is it easy for you to read a crowd, how they're feeling?
No, I'm not a master at it. But I don't know. You look around when you play something. Maybe talk to people. But then again, I don't worry that much. I'm not a pro DJ. I'm just, I've done a few things here and there for events, whatever, like a guest DJ thing. I DJ'd a wedding once. Or no, twice. I've done 2 weddings. That was way back, a long time ago. That was really fun.
Did you dress up in a suit?
I did.
Yeah.
The full get up.
The whole 9?
Yeah.
How many suits do you own currently?
I've got like 2 or 3. I got 3 suits, yeah.
It's decent. I only have the one.
It's okay if you got a good suit, one solid suit.
It's a solid suit. Just classic black suit, can't go wrong with that. But also it's like, maybe I should throw one more into the mix, I feel like. But, All right, so let me ask you this, are they all different colors?
Yeah, I've got like a gray, I got a black, I've got a blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you were to throw one more into the rotation, what color would you lean towards?
Well, maybe like a two-tone. I'm into that. My wife's not really into that, but
So it kind of had to be a secret suit.
I do have a Ben Sherman green, like a kind of not lime green, like a minty green sport coat.
Ooh.
And I like to wear that with like some black slacks,
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the 60s surf band type thing. I dig that.
Yeah.
So now and then I'll do that.
That's good. Yeah, I feel like often when I see you, it's usually like white or a black shirt, maybe some boots of some sort, or some nice
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah. I got some boots. I
Yeah.
got some.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like it. I go, what is Chad wearing? Let me see what he's up to. And you never disappoint, sir. Let me tell you that.
I appreciate that, man.
And but you are a ball cap guy. I'm not a ball cap guy.
Yeah, I like a cap,
Yeah.
but I appreciate having full head of hair, so I try to
Showed off.
show it, like while I can.
Well, when have you always been a hat guy? Has that
Yeah,
always
oh yeah. When
been
I was a
in
little
your...
kid, there was like a period in my life when I always had a baseball hat on, like, every day, no matter what. So, yeah, there was a phase of a couple years, just didn't ever want to like style my hair, comb it. Just wanted to wear a hat everywhere.
And then Suavecito entered your life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I phased out of that before, but yeah, Suavecito, that helped. Those nice products. They float us some good products, and I like it.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Suavecito.
yeah, Suavecito, shout out.
Liquid Death, of course.
Yeah.
And
It's all good stuff.
Brixton
Brixton.
still? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot. There's been like Rain sunglasses.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of Rourke recently.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We played the Rourke store opening. That was cool.
Yeah,
Got some free gear.
I made it out to that one. That was an interesting one because it was in the store. It was in a store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of felt like the old days.
How do you feel about playing in non-traditional settings? How does that affect you at all? Do you go, okay, we're kind of working with something different here, or is it more the same?
No, that's how we coming up. We did a lot of that. So it's just kind of back to. It's fine. A little more work. You got to lug your. It's easier to just go to a venue where you got monitors and everything set up. Get a sound crew. That was actually a step back into the past of rolling up and loading our gear. Like having to get a dolly and load things far away and from the van, and then set up. They didn't have a sound crew there or anything. That was kind of nostalgic, though. Wasn't bad.
Yeah, I can only imagine what the deal was with lugging this, because it was kind of deep in the I want to say a mall, but it was like an open air mall, because there's a bunch of shops in that area.
Yeah, it was nice. Good clean environment.
Mm-hmm. In a good crowd too. It's good energy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a nice jacket after the show. Like, hey, you guys go pick some. Still got a pretty sweet jacket that I like.
Very nice. Yeah, adding a jacket into the repertoire of the wardrobe it's a good feeling. You guys got a lot of good stuff back in you right now.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm super grateful for all those companies that flow us some stuff and give us shout outs, and we do the same thing in return. We're like, thank you guys, and you're welcome for what we do for you,
Yeah.
Back to that symbiotic full circle, man.
I was just going to say.
Full circle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cohesion in this talk we're having.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's just a cohesive thing.
I feel
as
like
if it's planned.
I feel like it's pretty cohesive every time that we chat.
Yeah.
It's nice. I think it's something about this living room, because we've done it in this room every time.
That probably lends to it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, though. I mean, if you didn't live in Long Beach, where would you want to move? I mean, would it still be on the coast, just at a different place, or would you want to move inland at all?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the coast is nice. Still loving to surf. I think if I had to move inland, though, as long as I was near a good mountain with some snow, like not too far away, because I really love to snowboard, really love to carve the slopes, and I like that as much as surfing. And
as much equal too.
I really do. I enjoy it so much. So yeah, if I had to move away from the water, if I was It'd be tough to be happy in Texas, even like the cool city like Austin, like just not being near any slopes with some snow that would be hard for me.
Well, let me ask you about this though. I think Kelly Slater has his the wave pool out there. I think is what they call it, the wave pool.
Do they have
thing.
one in Texas now? Yeah, I
I
guess
think
they do.
it's in Austin actually, or adjacent to, I believe.
Oh.
Could that suffice? Maybe.
I mean, I've never ridden a wave pool besides the one that used to be at Wild Rivers when you boogie board at Wild Rivers. That was pretty cool, but yeah, I don't know if it's a substitute for. It's just expensive. The amount of waves, it's very limited. I mean, I'd like to try the wave pool. I don't know if that would give me. Because how often are you going to go to the wave pool? I guess you could buy like a pass or something. Maybe they have. But each wave costs so much money. It costs a lot to generate a wave. So I think it'd be fun, but I don't think it would become like a habitual practice. Like, oh, I'm going to the wave pool. Unless wave pool technology and just the demand was so high for it that there's just wave pools everywhere and they got bigger and it became more like, I mean, that's like a fantasy. That's a lot of real estate you'd need. I guess Texas, there's plenty of open real estate there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting to think about. That's a really thought-provoking question.
That's what I try to do here, Chad.
Yeah, you're really stirring up some stuff here.
Really?
I think instinctively, it wouldn't. It's not. I mean, it's better than nothing. It'd be cool to ride waves. So
yeah,
I suppose I would.
Okay.
If I lived in Texas and there was a wave pool nearby, I'd go do that here and there.
It's a potential yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's that one in Palm Springs. We thought about, hey, let's go out there, but yeah, it'd be interesting to try.
Mm-hmm. Well, now let me ask you this: if you grew up in Mammoth and we were having this conversation out there, and you had the equal amount of time surfing that you do snowboarding, do you think that you would still feel the same way? Like, oh, I could see myself surfing as much as I snowboard?
Well, the only reason I don't snowboard, I mean, surfing you can do it year round.
Mm-hmm.
At least, I would snowboard way more if there's two things. It's really expensive. That makes it tough, and you just don't have the snow it's just limited time.
That's also an issue.
It is an issue. It is, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, snowboarding's pretty awesome. I wish I didn't like it. Like, I'd like to go to, like, a hypnotist maybe and see if I can get hypnotized out of it to make me not like it anymore.
Right.
It's just time and money,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is an issue. I understand.
But I'm going to enjoy it in the meantime.
Yeah, you should enjoy it now. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Steering it back to music here for maybe 1 minute, and then we'll go back to surfing, snowboarding, skating, and all that fun stuff. When you picked up the guitar initially, and we might have just kind of gone over this in a previous episode, so I apologize if we did, but just to touch back on that for a minute, how old were you when you first picked it up?
Oh, I think I was like 12.
Okay. Now, when you first started picking it up, to your recollection, did you feel like you were comfortable with it immediately, or did it take some time?
No, not at all. I didn't like the way it made my fingers feel, and then just doing chords was hard. And yeah, I almost quit. I mean, I was gonna quit. I just didn't feel. Yeah, it didn't feel natural, really, but I feel like I had some inclination towards music, and I was gonna quit, and then my mom said, "No, don't, just keep playing," because I kind of have that tendency to just be kind of passive about everything. I have to fight that every day of my life, and something being hard, like it's too much of an obstacle. I don't really feel it. It's tough. I need other people to kick me in the ass in life. That's why that's one quality about my wife. You know, she kind of kicks me in the ass when I need it.
No, it's good.
Sometimes when I don't need it, but it's good. I need somebody to do that. And
it's warranted, and I'm glad that she's doing it.
Yeah, and I was just in the church youth group back then, and they needed like players, like people to go up, and the worship group, you know, the worship time, and the pastor's like, hey, we need guitar players. So I didn't want to get up and play in front of people. It was not my. But then, come on, man, let's just do it. There were some cool people, good musical mentors at the church, and a lot of that was foundational to playing with other people, playing with a drummer, bass player, singers, you know, other guitars. Big developing factor,
right,
for playing.
And was that your first kind of experience singing as well? Did that come from that?
Yeah, that was scary. I did not want to sing into a mic.
Did you feel more comfortable behind the guitar at that point? And you're like, oh, singing, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I was really self-conscious. Like, I didn't think I was, like, I'm not a very good singer. Not that great of a player either. That's just how I felt. I look like felt kind of stupid, but.
And was this kind of occurring at
the
the same time, though? Was this like the singing aspect and playing guitar in front of people aspect? Was that happening kind of around the same time?
Yeah, I just didn't like being the center. Being up front and playing. Like, I don't want all eyes on me, really. I'm not really into that. Like, if everybody's looking at me, I'm kind of, it's just not my, some people thrive on that. They're like super, they're fueled by it, like it's like they're made for it. I never felt that way. And it was really hard to get over that, like, and do Tijuana Panthers.
Or even the pencils before that?
Yeah, and the pencils, yeah. It took me a while to get through that and process, like, hey, we got some songs, we have some good material, people seem to be into it, so you owe it to people to get up there and give them a good show.
Right.
That helped me. That helped me through it, and it would have been a waste to just go towards what I'm inclined to, it's easier to just not deal with that, not have to, the tension between my personality and then the things the material that we've all worked on together. And it's like, I want to share that. I wanted to share that, and I was proud of it, but at the same time, I had to get over the whole, like, being on stage and everybody looking at you thing. So it wasn't easy.
When did that finally, you come to terms with that?
Slowly transitioned and just looked at it more, kind of like I just said, like, hey, there's a lot of people that want to hear our songs. You owe it to them to play the best you can, and it's a special thing. Enjoying seeing people into it, it's a special experience. Like, it's like the unity you have, like, with a crowd. And I don't mean, it's a spiritual unity. You're connecting. It really is a connection thing. So
yeah, part of the experience is through the audience and their participation in it. Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Do you recall the first song that you sung on that ended up being a Tijuana Panthers song?
Well, I mean, I sang, like, when me and Phil had the pencils. And, gosh, I don't even remember what the very first song was, honestly. I don't remember. Yeah, I wish I had a title for you.
That's
It
right.
wasn't a Tijuana Panthers song. Was that the question?
Yeah, but I'll check with Phil about that.
Yeah, check with Phil.
Yeah.
Redheaded Girl was really early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was one of the first songs.
Which is a staple. I mean, that's
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. With those fan favorite songs like Redheaded Girl, Creature, Send Down the Bombs, Prayer Needs.
Well, that's an interesting. It's interesting you bring that up because, gosh, I think it says prayer knees, like on the on the album, but it was originally prayer needs. But I think it got like written down wrong or like somebody heard wrong, and I'd have to get a Max Baker. I don't have one on hand here. Like I don't remember. I think it says prayer knees. So the song has now just become both titles.
It's
Prayer
interchangeable.
Needs, Prayer Knees. Yeah, it's become both. Like either one. There's two titles for the song.
Playing these fan favorite tracks, does it kind? Do you feel like you go on like kind of autopilot while playing those now, or are you always in the moment?
I can't do the autopilot thing anymore because we don't play like we used to as much, like when we were touring all the time. Yeah, you're like an autopilot. You're playing, and it's probably sounds crazy, but if it's like we played these songs so many times, but I still, because we only play select shows, here and there, like the other guys, Dan and Phil, they got the kids now, and we don't do the tour. We're not doing the Europe tours or U.S. tours right now. We just do we get away for a few days here and there and play some shows. But it's different when you're not playing all the time. It's not like we're playing Tijuana Panthers songs constantly. So you kind of, even though you've played the songs a bunch of times, at least for me, I'll just say for me, I still have to. I gotta focus these days. Like, remember what I'm doing. If I don't, I'll like, oh shoot, forgot the lyrics to this song, which sounds crazy. It could be a sign of brain slippage or something. But yeah, since we don't play as much anymore, yeah, it's not so much autopilot.
Mm-hmm. With newer songs, like the ones off this most recent album, Halfway to 80, was there a point that you felt like, yeah, I mean, these songs are new in the catalog, but they've kind of lost their freshness?
Like specifically with Halfway to 80?
But even with like when Poster came out.
I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting question. It's not really something that I've like thought about or like been consciously aware of. So it's hard to answer. I think some songs have like a staying power, where you instinctively know, like, oh, this is going to be one we play all the time. Whereas there's a lot, we've done all of our albums and there's certain songs we just don't play. It's not because we don't like them. It's just, there's certain songs we're going to play all the time, always. And then there's others like, we did that on the album and we played it for the release, and that's all we're going to do.
But there are some forces behind some songs that you feel like, yeah, this will be incorporated into a set list.
Yeah, or there's songs we've played off a new album, when it close to when it comes out, and then we all just feel like, the people weren't that into that song. I don't think that's always, like, I think the criteria for judging that sometimes is misleading. I think we all kind of go, oh, people weren't like rocking out and dancing to it, so they're not into it. But I don't think it necessarily gauges accurately. Maybe they just want to listen and they're not, it's not a dancey song or whatever. But yeah, that's happened. I think it's like a self-conscious thing. We get, I don't feel like, as we're performing it, I don't think people are into it, so we'll just play it for the release and then that's it. That's happened, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that's just how it goes.
Hey, that's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think people are just stoked to see the show, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. With these songs from the first album, Redheaded Girl, Prayer Needs or Needs, whichever camp you're in, uh, these songs that you wrote earlier on, and from the second album, I forget what the second album is. Is it
Semi-sweet.
Semi-sweet?
Yeah.
So Baby I'm Bored, or something like that, right? Do you feel like
Another title, another little thing you're touching on here with titles. It's actually Baby I'm Bored.
yeah? Oh,
You said Baby on Board,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Is that what you said? Or you meant Baby I'm Bored?
I will find out when I do this. So if I misspoke,
Oh,
I
no,
do
but you meant,
apologize.
okay, so you meant Baby I'm, okay.
Baby I'm
I
Bored
thought I
is what I
heard
meant.
you say Baby on Board, which originally, that was the original title.
Oh, that's.
But
It's
the guys
funny.
didn't like it. They're like, that's dumb. I was like, okay, yeah.
So maybe
All right.
subconsciously, I'm siding with you.
Or maybe I just heard it. You didn't actually say it. I'm just hearing that. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
However, we got to this point, I do appreciate that little tidbit, though. Nonetheless, great song, great title, great alternate title as well. I like all of these bases that we've covered. But with these songs from older discography of the band, do you feel like with some of those songs there's only a certain time and place that you are in personally to be able to produce those songs? Do you feel like that, like, I mean, could you write something like that now, or would you write something like that now?
Another really thought-provoking question, man.
Thank you.
I feel like I would put it in the category of, if I'm probably not understanding the question. Maybe what's on your mind.
No, please.
I mean, actually, you're touching something here. I think I've tried to tap into that, but maybe unsuccessfully. Like on later albums, I've been like, I want to write something like in the spirit of like I would have done back then. And I felt sometimes like, oh, this is kind of like a vibe, like this could have been on Max Baker, but I don't know if it's really perceived that way by others.
Is there one that stands out to you that could have been in that time frame of Max Baker?
I'd say I can't really put my finger on anything because maybe at the time I thought it was, but then now I don't, and I forget what I was thinking back then.
Mm-hmm. I like it either way. I like that we're moving in a different direction.
But I'm trying to think. But I think we've always tried to. We don't want to just make albums that sound the same as before. We're trying to expand and not progress, but in a sense, progression.
Yeah, just playing with a different concept, perhaps with the new ideas.
Yeah, just something that doesn't sound like, oh, we're just doing. Oh, there's the Tijuana Panthers again doing a album that sounds pretty much the same as the last. You don't want to fall into that.
Yeah.
But to some people, it might sound like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe somebody that's not really a fan. Like, yeah, it all sounds the same. But that's normal. Like that's if you're not a fan of something, it might all just run together for you. But
yeah,
we need that adversity in life. Me and Phil, in the Pencils days, we had a song called Rejection, where Phil sang lead. The line was, "I need rejection for inspiration." And
that's true.
That was kind of like that. That was the theme, like needing that adversity, that you got to overcome the obstacle.
Yeah, definitely.
Or take a hit and get back up and keep going. Actually, be inspired by it.
Yeah, use it as a catalyst.
Get stronger. What you take a hit, but you get stronger. You keep going.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So with these songs from halfway to 80, do some of them kind of feel like kind of baked into the catalog of music now, or is it still kind of have a newness to it?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think they feel, some of them feel, it's just like I was talking about earlier, like we're not going to play all the songs unless somebody came up and was like, "Hey, we really want to hear this." Like people were begging for some song that we
710, something like that.
Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to think, have we played 7? Nah, I don't think we did. No, I don't
That's
think
what
we've
I'm
played
saying.
710. Yeah.
That's why we need to have this little.
Yeah, we've never been the band that like just plays the whole album. And I don't know why. Maybe we should have, but
There's still time. I mean, it's not like we're talking about the end here.
yeah, I mean, I remember going to a U2 concert because I grew up with U2. When I was a little kid.
I remember you speaking about that in another episode. Now, that was something that was it your sister that got you into that?
Yeah,
Okay.
because my sister's, she's a little older than me, and I was listening to what she was listening to when I was in her car.
Oh, absolutely.
And, yeah, I really liked U2, and the album Joshua Tree. I remember I went last time they played the Rose Bowl, and they did the full Joshua Tree album, and there was a few songs on, I guess, in the album that they never performed live. So that was kind of rad, to hear some songs that they had never done, like live, at least on that tour.
It's really cool.
For the first time, yeah. I don't even remember what the songs were, or I could have heard that wrong, and it's actually not true. But in my mind, it's really cool. So
I like your vantage
bliss.
point of it.
Yeah. So whatever. If somebody corrects me one day, oh well, yeah.
Yeah, let Chad know.
Yeah, but right now that's a cool thing that I experienced.
Really cool.
Or think that I did.
If you were to do that, if the Panthers were to do that with an album front to back, what album would you want to play in its entirety?
Another thought provoker, man.
Yes.
I suppose maybe Poster.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe just that one's special, just the experience with Richard Swift, who produced it, recorded it. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. I don't know, there's something special feeling to that goes along with that album.
Yeah, you
remembering him.
Speaking on that album, I picked that up at a show at the Roxy, and I remember buying that cassette tape, and I wasn't familiar with that album, or not from like front to back like I was with whatever Max Baker or Semi Sweet at that time, and I popped it in like when I was leaving the Roxy, and I really enjoy that album. I mean, it's really just a great album all around.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Some great stuff on it. Send Down the Bombs, I believe, is on there. Yeah. And I want to say Set Forth is on there, but I could be wrong about that.
Wait, let's see.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think Set Forth is on that. Yeah.
That'd
be funny if I was wrong and it's not. That'd be really funny.
I believe it is, or maybe yeah. I'm pretty sure because there's a claymation video for that.
Yeah, it's not Carpet Denim.
No, it's not Carpet Denim.
Yeah.
But that one was one that I wasn't really familiar with, and I became familiar with, and I was super stoked. Buying that tape was really awesome. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah,
it's cool. You got the tape too.
Yeah. With Tijuana Panthers music, the whole catalog, Max Baker, Halfway to 80, Poster, all these albums are going to be looked at as like, wow, this was a pivotal band in years to come.
I really appreciate that, man.
I appreciate you guys making the music, and if anybody has the chance to go experience it live, I highly recommend it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah,
absolutely.
and it brings me. I think I can speak for the other guys too. It brings us joy to see people. I feel like our fans are special,
Yeah,
and like going back to the unity thing, like a spiritual unity. Like the spirit of music. I'm not being trying to make it higher than it is, but just
I'm
what I
trying to.
mean.
So,
Like, oh, you are okay. Well, you go ahead and do that, pal. I greatly appreciate the people that come out and sing and dance and have fun more than they would know. For me, it's always cool to see people enjoying themselves, digging it.
Yeah, that must be a
Yeah,
trip. Like, whoa! I remember
yeah,
when I wrote this song, I didn't. I mean, like, there's a point that nobody knew these songs, and we knew these words to
yeah,
"Redheaded Girl" or
yeah.
"Prayer Needs" or
Or has a
Dan.
tattoo of like there was a girl with a prayer needs tattoo one time. I like two hands and
I feel like I saw that on social media or something like
yeah, it
that,
was cool. It was cool.
and I saw a semi-sweet tattoo as well.
Yeah, yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
It's a good looking tat.
that's amazing. That's so rad, and that dedication. So just reiterate, please go see Tijuana Panthers if you have the opportunity to. If they're coming to your town or a town near you, or if you just want to, delve back in. Maybe somebody caught this on their YouTube or Spotify or whatever. And go, oh yeah, Tijuana Panthers. Wouldn't go back and listen and check out the new stuff if you haven't heard it, and go back to the old stuff and listen to that as well. I mean, really dive on in.
Dive in.
Yeah.
Dive in. Let's dive together.
Yes. I got one more question for you, though, Chad, before we wrap this up. Been asking people this a lot lately, and this is kind of coming out of left field because we don't really have a transition into it. But what is a perfect album in your eyes? Every song on this album is a 10 out of 10. I don't need to skip any of these.
Just out of all.
Out of all albums, one that you really dig that you're like, yeah, every song on this album is fantastic.
Dang, man.
I know it's kind of this is the last question, so I kind of gotta dig deeper.
I need to think about it. I want to say like the band Love, DeCapo, I had something else in mind. Okay, this is an easy one. People are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, real." Which I get it because it's, you can rag on me for this one, but Beach Boys' Pet Sounds.
Oh,
I mean
yeah.
that's like that hits that perfectly.
Sure,
Like,
absolutely. That
album
fits that
is
slot really well.
pretty dang flawless.
Are there any other ones that come to mind? Maybe like in like a harder rock sense or something like that. Like, I don't know, like Buzzcocks or something.
That's funny. I was just thinking Buzzcocks, A Different Kind of Tension. Like, I really love that album. That is so crazy, man.
Well, Chad, again, man, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's my pleasure.
Fourth
as
year in a
always.
row.
Woo!
It's good stuff. So please go back and listen to the other three if you haven't. And if you have, go back and check it out anyways, just because it's just fun interview. It's always good chatting with you, Chad.
Same here, man.
I appreciate you saying that even though you don't mean it. It's cool. Thank you. So, so go back and check out the whole catalog of Tijuana Panthers, starting with Max Baker Semi-Sweet. What's the third album?
Let's see. We got. I think that was Poster.
Poster.
Yeah.
And then is it? Does it jump to Carpe Diem? Or no, I'm skipping one. I feel.
Let's see.
Or is it Ghost
there-
Food perhaps?
Yeah,
coming
the
up?
EP came between. Yeah, that EP came.
I love
between.
that EP. Fantastic one as well with that. I wasn't able to bring it into the conversation, but I do love that one.
Yeah, that's an obscure one. It doesn't sell well at shows, but it's not the most attractive looking, just black cover, case. And
It's good. It means business. The J
means
card
business.
means business, and,
Yeah.
and I'm speaking from experience with that. I own it.
yeah,
It's on my little whatever cassette shelf there. So
yeah.
Ghost Food, then came.
I think actually Wayne's Interest came. Was that before Poster or after? I think that was before. I think it was Semi-Sweet, then Wayne's Interest, then Poster, then the EP, then Carpet Denim.
And then the other EP, Pull to Shoot.
Yeah. I think that was. God, was that before? That was before Carpet Denim. That was between.
That's between. Okay.
Yeah. Then Carpet Denim.
Then Carpet Denim.
Yeah.
Now halfway to 80. So go and all that stuff is available at Innovative Leisure. I think Tijuana Panthers Bandcamp.com. Or .bandcamp.com rather, and there is a website as well, and follow the band on Instagram at Tijuana Panthers. All of that stuff will be linked below, whatever you're listening to this on. And Chad, thank you so much, sir. Always a pleasure chatting with you.
You're welcome, man.